Once again, welcome, guys. Today, let us discuss the topic gender relations and power dynamics, which is one of the most important topics as far as UGC NET exam is concerned. Okay. I have made this topic into two sections, and in the first part, I'm going to discuss the concept related to gender and the most important thinkers, their writings, their quotes, most important terms and concepts related to gender. Okay. First of all, let us discuss what a gender is. Gender is a range of characteristics pertaining to and differentiating between femininity and masculinity. That means this is the term used to describe the characteristics of women and men that are socially constructed. Okay. World Health Organization has given a definition for gender. Gender refers to socially constructed characteristics of women and men, such as norms, roles, and relationship of and between groups of women and men. It varies from society to society and can be changed. Whereas sex refers to those are biologically determined. That means a girl or boy is identified by his or her sexual organ, that is known as sex. Okay, that is the difference between gender and sex. One is biological and other is social. Okay, one is not born but rather becomes a woman. This is a famous quote given by Simone de Beauvoir in this instance. Okay, this was the previous question for UGC NET. LGBTQ is a term which is common nowadays and very familiar. So it is an acronym for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender and queer or questioning. These terms are used to describe a person's sexual orientation or gender identity. So LGBTQ is something which is related to the gender identity. Okay. Actually, it involves a spectrum of gender identities. Now, let us discuss it one by one. A woman whose enduring physical, romantic, and or emotional attraction is to other women, she belongs to the category lesbian. Some lesbians may prefer to identify as a gay or as a gay woman. Okay. Gay, the adjective used to describe people whose enduring physical, romantic and or emotional attractions are to the people of the same sex. Usually this is used to describe a man-to-man relationship, but it is sometimes a general term. Sometimes lesbian is preferred term for women. Okay, that is the difference. Now, bisexual, a person who has the capacity to form enduring physical, romantic and or emotional attraction to those of same gender or to those of another gender. Both they can do. People may experience this attraction in different ways and degrees over their lifetime. Okay, so those people who has a capacity to make relationship or has an attraction towards their own gender and to the opposite gender also. These type of people are known as bisexual. Okay. Transgender is a common term. It is an umbrella term for people whose gender identity and or gender expressions differ from what is typically associated with the sex they are assigned at birth. That means the so-called gender expressions and identities will be entirely different from the sexual organs which they possess. Okay. And the people under transgender umbrella may describe themselves using one or more of a wide variety of terms, including transgender. Okay. Next is queer. It is an adjective used by some people, particularly younger people, whose sexual orientation is not exclusively heterosexual. Okay. Actually, all these terms are interrelated or maybe substitutable. Okay, there is slight differences. So, we should be very keen while answering these type of questions. Okay, and sometimes when the Q is seen at the end of LGBT, it can also mean questioning. This term describes someone who is questioning their sexual orientation or gender identity. Okay, that is all about LGBTQ. Now we are moving on. Now, gender distinction. It is a very evident form of stratification in our society. Basically, it is found in caste, kinship, and in family. Okay. Next term is gender biasness. Gender bias is the tendency to prefer one gender over another. Okay. It is a form of unconscious bias or implicit bias which occurs when one individual unconsciously attributes certain attitudes and stereotypes to another person or group of people. Usually, women and transgender community are the victims of gender biasness. Okay, now we have to discuss the gender hierarchy or gender order given by R.W. Kernel, and this is a very important topic which is usually and regularly asked in UGC NET exams. So let us discuss it in detail. R.W. Kernel has introduced a hierarchy which explains which type of people are more powerful in the society. He has given an order which is diminishing towards the end, and the first category is hegemonic masculinity, second one is complicit masculinity, third is subordinated masculinities and homosexual masculinities. On the other hand, hegemonic masculinity comes first, and then subordinated feminities, emphasize femininity and resistant femininity. Okay, this is the order given by R.W. Kernel, and let us explain these terms. Okay, hegemonic masculinity means the qualities which includes heterosexuality, whiteness, physical strength and suppression of emotions such as sadness. Usually this is referred to as a straight personality as far as the society is concerned. Next is complicit masculinity, where a man may not fit in all the characteristics of hegemonic masculinity but do not challenge it either. Okay, now marginalized masculinity, they follow the cultural norm but cannot fully access it. Okay, example, men of color and disabled men. Okay, last comes the subordinate masculinity. It displays oppositional qualities. Effeminative and gay men are examples of men who exhibit a subordinate masculinity identity. Okay, so this is the hierarchy given by Kernel. Biology is gendered as well as sexed. This is a famous quote given by Naila Kabir, who is an Indian-born British Bangladeshi social economist, research fellow and a writer. This is also a previous question. Okay. Karuna Chandana, who is a professor in sociology of education and gender in JNU, has given 4 trends in women's employment. Okay. According to her, first one is pink collarization, second is low status occupation, third one is salary less compared to men, and the last trend is high proportion of highly educated and professionally trained unemployed women sitting at home. Okay, this is the new trends in women's employment. Pink collarization is a term which should be discussed. Let us discuss it. Okay. A pink collar worker is someone working in care-oriented career field or in fields historically considered to be women's work. A pink collar worker need not require as much professional training as white collar professions. They do not get equal pay or prestige also, and a pink collar worker is usually a woman. Okay, men rarely work in pink collar jobs. Some examples in pink collar occupations are babysitter, florist, daycare workers and nurses, etc. Okay. Now we are going to discuss Friedrich Engels, who is a Marxist thinker, and he has written Origin of the Family, Private Property and the State. According to him, first division of labor was between men and women for the production of children. While men provided the means for subsistence, women were concerned with production and reproduction of human life. This is a famous quote given by Engels and was also a previous question. Okay, now let us see two more quotes. Within the family, he is the bourgeoisie and the wife represent proletariat. The overthrow of mother rights was the world historical defeat of female sex. These are the two famous quotes given by Engels on this regard. Now let us go through some of the books related to gender studies. Sex, Gender and the Society is a famous book written by Anne Oakley. Gender Trouble, Feminism and Subversion of Identity is written by Judith Butler. Paradoxes of Gender by Judith Lober. Don't get confused with these both. And the Gender Games by Juno Davson. International Handbook of Gender and Poverty written by Sylvia Chant. Gender Equality in Health by Geeta Sen and Piroshka Osklin. By then we are concluding our session and will be continuing in the part 2. Okay, thank you all.